Hi, welcome to Open Hand Farm. Today you're here with Penny and Mark, and we have a project that we have been putting off for how long?
7.5 years, I think.
He always exaggerates.
A year?
I think it's been 2 years.
Oh. Anyway, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Anyway, we had decided that we wanted to buy a Berkey water filter. So he surprised me and bought one. The problem was we had
no memory of this.
We had nowhere to put it. So let me just show you this. So we have this cabinet, we have this cabinet, we have this cabinet, and we have this bar. This has been full until recently, as well as this, and this is always used when I'm cooking. There was really nowhere to put it in a permanent way. And so my idea was, after we redo the laundry room into the creamery, we then will have this workspace. So this corner will be the home of the Berkey water filter, because I'll be able to just come right here, get water, and then turn right around and be back in the kitchen. It will be very handy. And when I want to feed my sourdough, I have my flour behind these curtains. I will have water right here, so I can just do it in this space instead of going back and forth to the kitchen. So now that we know where its home is going to be, we can use it. But you guys, hand me that book. It comes with like a 500-page, I know, now I'm exaggerating. It seems like it though, a very big book.
28 page.
28-page booklet to come with it.
And it's not one of these ones that's in French, German, and Spanish, and Italian, and Portuguese, and everything. It's all in English. So it's a lot of instructions.
So that's why I have called in the smart guy.
So she can blame me for everything.
So he's going to walk us through putting this filter together, because he's been doing his homework and studying the book. So let's do this.
All right, if you're not familiar with the Berkey system, it has two pots, we'll call them. I don't know what they call them, doesn't matter. This is the one that the purified water will be in. This is where you put the nasty, dirty, awful water. Well, hopefully not. And as you can see, there's some holes here, and the filters go into those holes, and you plug up the ones you don't have filters for, because we weren't rich enough to buy 4 filters. We bought 2 filters, which is fine. It just won't last quite as long that way. Anyway, then that's going to go on top of there. So you put your source water in there. It slowly trickles through, and you get wonderful, clean, amazing water down below. So now we have carefully washed these things, and then all of the parts back here that will touch the water inside. So everything should be reasonably clean, because I guess maybe they thought we would have bubonic plague or something on ourselves. And I washed my hands. So there we go. First thing they want us to do, where's the lid? It's over there. Is take the lid. This is probably the easiest part of the whole thing. And we take the knob for the lid, and there's a screw here with and I drop it with a washer on it. I put that screw through there, and I'm gonna screw the knob on.
I could have done that.
Well, you didn't. Okay, there, it's tightening. Is that enough for today?
Yay! Oh, no, keep going.
Not enough for today. Okay, that was step 1, although they didn't number it. It's a little confusing. Step 2 is the lower chambers. That's what they are. It's the lower chamber and spigot assembly. So we're going to take the spigot. Now I gotta say, nothing too good for Open Hand Farm. This is the standard spigot, and it's plastic, and I'm sure it would have been just fine. But we went first class and bought this lovely
wild
stainless steel spigot, and so we're going to use it. All right, we've got the lovely stainless steel spigot, then the several connecting pieces. This one I think is just cosmetic. It's a little stainless steel shroud or something that goes over it. It'll go on first. Then there is a rubber gasket or washer that is beveled, and we're going to put it on beveled side toward the Berkey. Okay, those have gone in. And then I put this other rubber O-ring thingy in there, and it does not want to go. It's nice and tight, which is probably good. And then there is a metal hex nut. I'm threading it on there. And now they keep saying hand tighten only, hand tighten only. This is the one that I really wonder, is that going to be good enough? And so we'll find out. And I'm tightening it. I'm going to turn it around so I can get my right hand on it. I'm probably going to want to use the spigot at some point. Yeah, that makes it a lot easier. I think if I can get it upright, hopefully that's good. We'll find out when we put water in it. Okay, so we have it there. It's closed. We have a couple more things to put on. First of all, we got this lovely little rubber ring, which goes on the bottom. So it's on. And then we've got this funny looking little clip. A little kind of a J-shaped thing. We put it on here. It is called the, what do they call it? The Snap Anti-Air Lock Clip. I don't understand, but I'll trust them. And I've snapped it on. Next step is to prime the filter elements. So these are the filter elements, or this is one of them. Not the blue part, but the black. Now we are gonna put water in here. I'm not real sure how this thing screws on to the top, but whoa, that's too fast. And it's not really going down very fast. We compared the weight of the second one to the weight of this one, and it's a noticeable difference.
So maybe it's full enough?
I don't know. Y'all can laugh at me all you want, especially if you are Berkey veterans, but honestly, if you're a Berkey veteran, why are you watching this video? Not that we don't appreciate you watching the video. Okay.
Okay, you have to push the faucet against that brown washer to force the water in. And soon we'll see like little sweating air bubbly things coming in here. I'm pushing really hard. Okay, look, can you see that in the camera? The sweating?
Oh yeah, look there.
Can you see the sweating of that water coming out? Supposed to do that for 5 seconds.
Okay, we may be ready to install the filter elements. I hope I'm right. There is what they call an element washer. I have no idea why they call it that. Doesn't really matter. I don't have to know. But it goes on here, on the little threaded part. And then the threaded part is going to go through the hole.
You're pouring water out.
I am pouring water out. And then there is a wing nut, a black wing nut. Whoop. Where'd the water come from?
Out of the filter.
Here comes the water again. Okay, now again, like everything else, we just finger tighten it. It's nice and tight. But the idea is that rubber washer is going to keep it from letting dirty water out of this top compartment down into the clean water. Okay, now I'm going to put the other one in this hole over here. I'm trying to not spill all my water out. There we go. Okay, so I'm holding it up there. We've got 2 of our 4 holes plugged. The other 2 are going to be plugged with these things, which I am just going to call plugs. The plugs come with 2 white rubber washers, and we're going to plug up the remaining 2 holes. Of course, you have to plug them up, and it's leaking. You got to plug them up because otherwise all the dirty water would come down here and you would get virtually nothing filtered. Now I put one of those washers above, one of those washers below. It didn't actually say to do that. I think that's safe. Okay, tightening that nicely. You'll notice they have holes on them, except they're white. They look like the outflow for the filters, but nothing will come through them because, as you can see here, they're completely solid. I'm not entirely sure why they put that on there, but these are smart folks. I'm sure they had a reason. Okay, put the second one through. Put the washer on. I will say this threads really easily. I appreciate it. Okay, so we should be good on the top. Having properly primed the filters, we are now making sure they're going to flow, because basically making sure we really did properly prime them. My priming was a failure. Penny got it working awesome. And as you can see here, it's dripping at a pretty steady rate. It'll probably pick up speed. So we're going to let it run just a little bit more, and then we're going to dump this out and we're going to test it. We've made sure the filters are flowing. They're properly primed. And now we're going to take some water with food coloring in it, put it in here, and make sure the filters are doing their job. So basically, if any red comes through, even a tiny bit, then that's a problem, and we'll have to address it. So Penny's going to steady the container. I'm going to dump this lovely red water in here. Whoa! Got some of this on my hand a little while ago. And food coloring comes off of skin so well. If you weren't clear, that was irony. Sarcasm or something. Okay. Here we go. Gallon number 2. I'm making a mess.
So the reason we're putting so much in is to cover the filters on the inside to make the flow better.
All right, I'm not. Whoa. She loves me. Okay, so we're gonna let this flow for a few minutes and we'll show you the results. All right, we got, in just a few minutes, that much water dripping through the filters. I did a little rough calculation, and you would get about at the rate it's going now, and I think it's going to speed up, but you'd get about a quart in 15 minutes. Well, that's not bad. I can't drink that much water that fast. So this thing's going to put out some water, and like I said, it'll probably pick up speed. And looking at it, I don't see any hint of the red food dye. So that's a good sign. I guess those filters are working. Way to go, Berkey. Okay, we have this handy-dandy plant stand, which Penny has repurposed after buying it on Amazon for this thing to stand on so that you can get a glass in under the spigot. Basically, this thing's about ready to go. We're going to fill it up with water. We're going to let it do its thing, probably overnight, and then we're going to throw that water away because it will have a little bit of gunk in it just from the manufacturing process. Then we'll be ready to fill it up, get clean, wonderful water for the rest of our lives or until those filters have run their lifespan. The filters, by the way, since I said that, and I don't have this figure, but I think Penny will look it up and she'll probably put it right about here. But they run for a certain number of gallons. So how long are they good? That depends on how much water you send through them. But eventually they're just going to start getting clogged up and they're not going to allow a satisfactory amount of water to go through, and you can replace them. Also, just one other note, we have 2 of the filters in here. I think it's going to be great, but you can put as many as 4 in there, and then you get your water twice as fast. And I suppose we could buy 2 more when these are like half done, and then when, then keep replacing 2 every, whatever, couple of years. I don't know. It's an adventure. I'm excited. Ugh, it's not heavy. There we go.
There we go.
So we got that, and the lid is somewhere. There it is.
Yep. And I wanted to be able to put a pitcher under here so that I could get a pitcher of water for my ladies' coffee group or community dinner or whatever. So that's why I wanted it up high enough. Now, if you didn't want it up this high, this plant stand you can actually flip upside down. So it would be this high off the countertop. We didn't want this to be like hanging off of a counter to get the water. I just feel like it's safer being fully on the counter.
Because we have children and teenagers.
Yes.
And adults who come into this house.
Absolutely.
And we're all clumsy now and again.
Absolutely.
Oh, and you're putting a link on Amazon to this plant stand, right?
I will. I'll also put a link to the Berkey filtration system and which one we have, because
there are smaller ones and there are bigger ones.
Right. So we'll put all of that in the description box. So just check that out. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed Mark doing a video, give him a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Thank you so much for stopping by today. And until next time, blessings on you and yours.